giving us 18. Don't forget to carry that 1 on top of here, on top of the crossed out numbers that we've already accounted for. And over here, that's where our 2 groups of 9 rods come into play. But we are going to regroup 10 of those rods and making them into 1 flat. And so then we had 8 total rods left over, noticing that that's where our 8 come from, and we carried that 1 because we regrouped our 10 rods into 1 flat. So now that we have our 8 flats over here, we're also going to write them down here as well. So now that we've looked at that, we are able to go ahead and look at our 2 groups of 8 flats with an additional 1 flat that we've regrouped previously. So giving us 8 times 2, 16, not forgetting about that 1, giving us 17, carrying that 1 again. And as you can see here, we have our 2 groups of 2 super cubes, giving us 4, but adding that 1 to give us 5. And we regrouped 10 of these flats into 1 single super cube. And that is where we got our 2 groups of 2 super cubes plus that 1 that we regrouped, giving us as well that 1 that we carried of an answer of 5. So like we've been doing with our other numbers, because we wrote down our 6 rods down here, our 8 flats down here, we need to do the same for our 5 and our 7. So we're going to go ahead and take our 7 super cubes because we had initially regrouped them from our flats. So 2, 4, 6. So 7 super cubes and 5 super rods, because we had taken our super cubes, regrouping them into super rods with our 1 left over that we carried. So we're going to take down our 5, super rods. Okay, so now that we've accounted for our 10th place value and our 2 groups of 10 over here, we're able to go ahead and cross that off, as well as those previous numbers that we've carried. And we are now going to be taking a look at our hundredths place, which is our grouping down here. And in that case, we're able to go ahead and put 2 zeros down here, because once we get into our regrouping of our blocks, we will not have any singles or rods to regroup. Therefore, that's where those 2 zeros come from. So now we are finally looking at our hundredths place, and we're going to go ahead and take 1 times 3, giving us 3. And then over here, we have 3 groups of 100 singles. However, to make it easier, we want to regroup those into our flats. Because again, like I said, we're not going to have any rods or singles, so we can't even regroup those singles into rods because we don't have any. So we're going to have to regroup them into flats, giving us 3 more flats. And therefore, our rods are going to become super cubes. Getting rid of those rods because we don't have any. And our flats becoming super rods. So that is how our regrouping worked out. We got that 3 because we regrouped our 3 groups of 100 singles into 3 flats. So that's where we got that 3. And now we're able to go ahead and look at the 1 times 9, giving us 9, looking at our 3 groups of 100 rods. But we initially regrouped that into 9 super cubes. And I'm just gonna let you know that that's 9 super cubes, so that's where we got that. Now we're able to look at our 1 times 8, giving us 8. Verifying that over here we are looking at our 100 groups of 8 flats. Now we are going to look at our 1 times 2, giving us 2. Over here we have our 100 groups of 2 super cubes, but we are going to regroup those into super flats. So like we've been doing before, we're now going to write our numbers in block form down here. So initially we had 0 singles, 0 rods, and then 3 more flats, 9 super cubes, so I think we had 9, and then 8 super rods, and then 2 super flats, because we had regrouped those previously. Now what we want to do is take all of these groups and bring them together, and we've initially made them into their simplest form, and we want to now try and find a total of these groups that we have brought together, referring back to our initial definition of multiplication. So after that, we are now going to take our groups and add them together to get a final total. So for our numerical expression up here, we're just going to add like we normally do, straight down. So we have our 2 plus 0 gives us 2. 7 plus 6 giving us 13, carrying that 1. 8 plus 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, carrying that 1. 9 plus 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, carrying that 1 as well. 8 plus 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, carrying that 1, giving us 2 plus 1, which is 3, giving us a total answer of 358,732. But we also cannot forget about our blocks down here, because we also have to add those up. Down here we bring down our 2 singles, 13 rods here, carry 1 of those rods into a flat, and then count our flats. But what we're going to do is regroup 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 into a super cube. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flats left over. And then what we're going to do is take 10 of our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and regroup those into a super rod. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 left over. I'm going to draw that 8 right here. And then we're going to regroup 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of our super rods into a super flat, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 super rods left over, giving us 5, and then a total of 3 super flats. So down here as well, our answer matches our numerical expression, giving us 3 super flats, 5 super rods, 8 super cubes, 7 flats,